welcome to Nerd News Now for January 18th, 2021. I hope everyone's having a nice Martin Luther King Jr. Day and enjoying an extended weekend. Today I'm here with Brainy, Kyle, and Miss Jen, so a little bit different of a lineup. I like it. What were you guys up to this weekend? Did anyone have like a 3-day online convention for 12 hours a day or anything?
I've been in this chair since 8:30 a.m. Friday morning, with the exception of 7 hours.
Wow. I mean, did you sleep in the chair or no, or not that you know of?
There were times where it was this. Like my face would hit my microphone and wake me up.
Yeah.
There were times in the show I thought Kyle was sleeping with his eyes open.
Don't tell anybody.
And
there were significant technical problems the first day. In terms of our website crashed. I had to recode the whole thing from the ground up. It was a whole mess. So there were times where I'm interviewing people and writing code at the same time. And then we went so late Saturday night with Brainy spinning for our after party. Under his DJ identity, Taji Beats, and then getting done with that and having commercials I had to edit and cut for the next day and that kind of stuff. That by the time I got to church Sunday morning, I actually slept through service with my eyes open. I know I did.
That's sad.
What was the highlight for you? I was able to tune in on and off a few times. I saw the Jimmy Palmiotti on the comment interview. I saw some of that. You did a great job with all of them. What was the highlight for you?
Jen, do you want to go first?
I did 14 official, and then I jumped in on a couple. Guess I had some technical difficulties popping on. I think I probably had fun doing the game show, just because everyone was so talented, brought so much smart debate to that. But I think I can't pick a favorite on the just regular ones that we were just in, because almost everybody that I already knew, so it was very comfortable. Interview, and I already knew it's exactly as they said. It was easy get to know.
So I have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 panels. I did one less than Miss Jen. But I also produced most of the panels I didn't host. So even if I wasn't on the screen, I was pressing the buttons. But for me, I got to interview John Romita twice, John Romita Jr., which is wild that I got to even say John Romita's name on screen to me. So getting to talk to him once, I talked to him once by himself, and then once with Scott Hanna, who had inked him for 25 years. And they did the run with J. Michael Straczynski that won the Eisner Award, including the 9/11 Amazing Spider-Man 36 book. So getting to talk to them was cool. Bob Layton was great. I had a wonderful conversation with Howard Chaykin, which, if you've ever seen Howard Chaykin talk, there are times where he has wonderful conversations, then there are times where he has conversations that are a little bit terse and short. And we had a great conversation. I think it's because he realized that we're both contrarians and we're both kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Grumpy old men. And it worked. And we have a lot of the same mutual loves, like food and underground comics and in the super indie kind of stuff. So that was fun. But the highlight for me is my friend Pat has been in the comic industry for years and years as a person who worked at a comic book store and as a con promoter. And at the end of 2019, he got his first book, an anthology, published. And 2020 was supposed to be the year where he made the con circuit as a creator. And he couldn't because of the pandemic. And so this was his first convention as a published artist, as a published creator. And so getting to interview him, and he's been a friend of mine for a long time. Getting to hear, I think that's probably my highlight.
That is awesome. And hopefully, we'll get back to cons at the end of this year. I mean, I'm hoping, but I don't know at this point. I mean, last year, like every con, I had like 3 or 4 pushback dates. Then they pushed it back to this year, and I know like the Fan Expo Dallas, which is one of the bigger Texas ones, like they've already pushed all the way back to mid-September of 2021. So, I think that's a realistic date until I turn on the news every day. You know what I mean? Like it just like I don't know when we're gonna get back to cons.
Well, so in this part of the country, in Monroe, Michigan, there's a con in mid-September that has a real good chance of happening for no other reason than it happens at the fairgrounds. And usually it's inside, but the promoter for years has been coming up with a plan to put it under tents and move it outside because it's usually gorgeous that weekend. And so I think there's a chance that we could do it outside and still have it. And that's a super fun show because Jim O'Barr comes up from Texas every year, and you get a ton of really cool creators.
That would be interesting to have a con out in tents like that. I mean, it would just be kind of a new experience. Maybe they could, tie in like a VIP pass gets a vaccine or something like that. Who knows? At this point, I'm up for anything. Like I still want Starbucks to do a vaccine latte. Just make it real easy for people. I mean, like how it's amazing to me. We have all these vaccines just sitting here. McDonald's serves billions every day. What are we doing? Like we have the distribution process. There's so many things across America that we get like with ease. Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors. I can't get one vaccine. Come on.
That would only work. We'd have to put it in like Frosties, though. I think for the cold.
That'd be fine. As long as I could dip my fries in it, sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I do really hope though that we have some sort of physical cons. If it's not till September, that's fine. But 2021, I don't know if I can wait till 2022.
I know a lot of creatives that are saying, I don't even care. I'm writing 2021 off too. Not going to do conventions until 2022. And the mentality of those people largely has been, 2020, I had a hard time focusing on writing or creating because it was depression and all this other stuff. But now we're a year in and it's just become the new normal. My creativity is starting back up. So I'm going to use 2021 to let everybody get the herd immunity and just to create. And that way by 2022, when cons do happen, I'll have a whole new table full of stuff.
I do get that mentality as well. Like just kind of rest up, recharge, and just use all that time you would have been traveling and at these conventions just to create, and have almost like a backlog. But I also know artists that, up until 2020, they were depending on that income. Going to like, I mean, as many as like 35 shows a year all over, and had transitioned from like an 8 to 5 job into being, a paid creative. And so that's the people that I worry about the most. I care about everyone, but someone who has been in comics for, 25 years and can afford to take, a year off, or they're still getting paid because their office is their home and they're like drawing pages and stuff. But it's the creative people that are having to go out and hustle and sell autographs and sell pictures and sell, content and sell paintings and prints and drawings. That's what I want cons to come back for most, I think.
I mostly want it to come back so I can have after con dinners. That's my favorite part of a convention, honestly. Get together with your friends that you made during the day and just go and break bread together.
I've been telling people I can't wait for C2E2 because I have deep dish deficiency.
Sure.
Yeah. It's too much sauce for me.
And I've had to explain to people all day is that, you know, I've got a guy who's a New York transplant right up the road here who makes great New York style pizza. I'm a half hour from Detroit, so I can go get Detroit Sicilian pizza. It's just nobody around here makes good deep dish. And when I say deep dish, I don't mean Giordano's or Lou Malnati's or, you know, the chains. No, I go to a real specific place that I'm not going to blow my spot up in Chicago, where we get real Chicago deep dish, like made the way they've made it since Al Capone was eating at this place. So, you know, that's what I miss is, you know, that kind of stuff.
What if when Geraldo opened up Al Capone's vault, there was all these empty pizza boxes from your spot, and that's how it got blown up?
They don't do carry out.
But my serious question though for that is, and I'm not going to ask you what your spot is, but is the sauce on top? Because that's always bothered me. No. See, I like that. I like the cheese should be the blanket, right? That's how it should be.
The way you have to think about this pizza is it's closer to a completely edible French onion soup than any kind of pizza you've ever eaten.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad French onion soup out there too. So I like
I
that you said.
understand.
I like that you said edible because French onion soup is also something that should have a secure cheese blanket.
Well, I mean, and this is, you know how on French onion soup you can't eat the bowl? This you can eat the bowl.
I mean, if you got in a bread bowl,
Yeah,
but you'd have to eat it fast. I don't know. There's some bread bowl soup that works. It just depends on the consistency. But does anyone else have any input on cheese blankets? I feel like I'm talking about cheese blankets. I'm just hogging it. They're so good.
I mean, is there such thing as bad pizza? I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
made by somebody that's not like in a cardboard box that you heat up in the oven.
It's Little Caesars.
And some other chains. I won't throw anyone under the bus. Yeah, there's definitely some bad pizza out there.
Mm.
No, so on the cheese blanket topic, I've seen them on Amazon. They keep coming up in my feed. Have you seen these blankets that are printed to be a pizza or a burrito, and you just roll yourself up in the blanket, and now it's like a U burrito or a U pizza?
Yeah, do they have different types of cheese? Because they should. I prefer a nice soft Gouda. That's what I'm gonna wrap up in. Gouda's so good. Brainy, cheese or no? Do you like sauce? Because like sauce is just pizza can have too much sauce. That's how it gets run for me.
Brandon, are you talking? I can't hear you. You're real quiet.
I can't hear him, but I really want to hear his opinions on sauce.
By the way, I think Brainy's camera position is phenomenal.
Yeah, totally.
Makes him look like a supervillain from a music video.
Well, I think he's having mic problems, so hopefully we'll get those resolved. But Christian, yes, you're a very positive person.
Yeah.
I've always admired that, but there can definitely be bad pizza. That's my personal on that.
Bad. If there's too much sauce and it's too hot, then the sauce acts as like a boilerplate for the roof of your mouth.
It does.
How good blanket is, the sauce will just do you in.
Yeah, I mean, so when I was in high school, I dated a girl who worked at a Little Caesars, and I was of the opinion that there was no such thing as bad pizza. And then I was going to Little Caesars every day. And I realized, oh, this is not good pizza, but I'm still going to eat it every day.
Yep.
And then I realized if I never eat it again, it will be 3 lifetimes too soon.
So you're saying you don't hop over to Detroit to get Little Caesars pizza, is what you're saying?
Dude, I'm in Toledo. We are South Detroit. There's a Little Caesars less than a mile from me. But I don't support Little Caesars Arena for that very reason in Detroit.
Well, you know why I don't support Little Caesars Arena? Because it would have been so easy to have red pane glass windows up top that look like pepperonis when you had a sky cam shot. Why wouldn't you do that? Why are you going to make a pizza arena and it doesn't look like a pizza on top?
But I'll give you let me tell you this. The best pizza in Detroit is a place called the Green Lantern. There's one, and I can tell you the locations. There's one in Sterling Heights, and there's one at 15 in John R. And the reason I know about this place is it's across the street from a great comic shop and just down the street from a great comic convention. But the whole idea of the place is it was about the lanterns that hung on the back of trains, right? That's where the name came from. And then the Green Lantern comics happened with Denny O'Neil.
Yeah.
And they changed the branding. They actually have a Marvel license. Not Marvel. They've licensed from DC the Green Lantern image, and it's on they have murals on their walls of the Green Lantern. So it's my favorite, and it's actually amazing Sicilian pizza.
So so it was called the Green Lantern before they knew of the comic, and then they decided to kind of jump on that. That's cool. And
right, I thought it was brilliant.
If it happens down the street from a convention, it's got to be absolutely packed when people see it, right?
Well, that's the thing is you wouldn't know it was a pizza place unless you knew it was a pizza place.
Okay.
Like, it's not in a great neighborhood. You don't want, but it's, if you know it's there, it's so it's all people from the convention who show up there. So it's just like the whole con moves to the pizza place.
And what convention is that?
Astronomicon.
And how long has that one been on? Because I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, last year was the 3rd year. Next year will be the 4th. Well, August will be the 4th. And it actually went off last year because it was in February before everything happened.
Oh, okay.
Jen got to meet the guys who are responsible for Astronomicon today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand it's not like a normal convention. It's not a normal, just straight up comic book convention. A little horror, a lot of music.
Professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Rock and roll.
But that's what Comic Palooza was when it first started. They had like the roller derby and Quidditch and wrestling. So I can see that.
In one Astronomicon, I met Kane Hodder. I met the Boogeyman from WWE. I met Dee Snider, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake shaved my beard.
Oh, really?
In one convention.
And Brainy, I still cannot hear you. I see you.
I was trying to be quiet while Kyle was talking, so.
Oh, there you go. No,
Just talk over me.
Yeah, no, and no echo. It's good.
All right, perfect. Yeah. I just found out that
about Brutus the Beefcake Barber or pizza or cheese blankets.
All right, first and foremost, cheese blankets. I got into those custom pizzas that people started making, like Pieology and Pizza Rev and all of that. They've got like 5 different types of cheese. All of them go on my pizza. No red sauce. I changed that to pesto sauce. It's more of a health issue than anything else. So, but I have to disagree with Kyle. I think Little Caesars has its moments. When you want to just spend $5 on a pizza, Little Caesars isn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Most times it's too much for pizza.
Yeah.
Most times $5 is too much for pizza from Little Caesars. I can go into a 24-hour Walmart and buy 2 DiGiorno's for the same price and get better quality pizza.
You guys remember, maybe this is just a college thing for me, that we would I don't know that we were into the pizza as much from Little Caesars as we were the breadsticks. So we would go get 6 packs of breadsticks.
Absolutely.
Conversation.
Absolutely. Their crazy breads are the best.
Yes.
I'll take that over their pizza any day. One of the downfalls of, well, not the downfalls, but one of the restrictions I have with DiGiorno is almost everything they have pepperoni in it. So,
Mhm.
and I gave up red meat and pork a few years back. So that kind of limits me on DiGiorno. They used to have a chicken pizza, which, well, man, we stocked up as much as we could, but they discontinued that dang chicken pizza. DiGiorno, bring it back.
Do they even have pepperoni on their four cheese? Like, is it ground up in the sauce?
No, their four cheese. We still get the four cheese, but there's only so much cheese pizza you can eat, man.
But then, well, you just said you put 5 cheeses on your pizza, so
That's because I'm customizing my pizza.
yeah.
Right, but then just go to the produce section and buy some stuff and put it on top.
True. And we've done that
I-
actually.
Let me ask you guys this question: when you buy a frozen pizza, are you a I open it, put it in the oven, and cook it kind of person, or are you a I fix it kind of person?
Open it, toss it in the oven.
Same.
I haven't had frozen pizza in like 20 years.
See, the problem I have with this is my other frozen pizza problem, right? I get it, I open it, and then it takes me as long as it would take me to make a hand rolled pizza, fixing the frozen pizza, because I'm always adding other toppings or what do I have in what leftovers do I have that I can throw on top of this pizza to make it better? So maybe I'm just doing it wrong.
So,
No,
guys,
I mean, I think it almost always needs more cheese. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think frozen pizzas almost always need more cheese.
Mhm.
It's not a proper blanket. The sauce oozes out. Yeah, so
I like going to Trader Joe's and getting they're the little bags of dough and just sticking it on the counter and let it warm up during the day. You just go home. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to make a pizza, honestly, as long as I'll teach you proper, dough technique or whatever. But yeah, it tastes so good when you do it yourself. It may not be a perfect circle, like like the pictures in the paper, but who cares? You just put it in your mouth anyway.
there's still something to be said about frozen pizza. It's got that unique, no matter what type you get, it's still got that unique flavor that.
That's
Yeah.
the cardboard, Brainy.
Once cons are back, we're gonna make sure we buy a few frozen pizzas and make sure Jen has some. After 20 years, I'm sure she's forgotten what they taste like.
They've gotten better.
well, but also in fairness, Miss Jen, you have a pizza place in your comic shop now.
Yeah, that. Why would I buy when I could just
Right.
Yeah, that helps.
Disqualified.
Now, what I want to know is, Kyle, would you one $5 Little Caesars pizza, or you have to consume 5 $1 Totino's party pizzas?
5 $1 Totino's party pizzas.
I can't handle that. I can't handle that anymore. Like that, it's okay when it's first out of the oven, but digestive wise, no, I can't do it.
For me, so I spent a lot of years traveling for my job. And the thing you would do is you'd get into a hotel, and almost all hotels have microwaves now. And you didn't want to go to spend spend a bunch of money at a restaurant or you could almost always find a store or a carryout that had Totino's party pizzas in the freezer. And you get those things and you stick them in that microwave in the hotel and you just eat them and feel bad about yourself. And there's something about the nostalgia of that just makes me want to do it again. So that's my pick. But do you guys, where you're at, because so Toledo where I'm at is fast food places and restaurants send their food here to get tested because we're a pretty decent intersection of the populace.
Oh. You said they send their food to get tested, and I said for COVID, but then I figured out what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we got the Doritos Locos Tacos before anybody. We got the nacho fries before anybody. We get a lot of that kind of stuff, and if it doesn't sell here, it never comes back. The only other place that gets stuff like that is San Diego, I've learned. because they got all day breakfast at McDonald's before anybody. But we right now have the chicken bacon ranch chalupa at Taco Bell.
Hmm.
Do you guys have those
We
locally?
do that just popped up on the menu over the weekend actually.
Oh, I've had them delivered. So I've been here so many hours. I've had Taco Bell delivered like 4 times, and I've gotten those every time, and they're phenomenal. They're so good. And I figured out how to customize them, make them even better. Have them add nacho cheese.
Uh-oh.
So now you get their 3 cheese blend plus the avocado ranch plus the nacho cheese. And yeah, it gets all in your beard, but it's worth it.
That does sound really good. I don't know. Miss Jen, have you had Taco Bell in 20 years?
Yes, it's so funny. Whenever I was a young married person, I told Mike that I would move anywhere with him as long as I had a Walmart and a Taco Bell, because our early married life, we used to every Sunday we'd go and get one of those Taco Bell boxes that had like 10 crispy tacos, or you could have 5 crispy tacos and 5 burritos. It was only like, I think it was like, honestly, I think it was like $5 for the whole box, which is
Or less, yeah. They used to have that 59, 79, 99 menu.
Yep. And we'd go home and we'd watch X-Files. That was, to me, that is early love. That was what we could afford, and that's what we like to do. So yeah, Taco Bell's always got a place in my heart.
Brainy, what about you?
Okay, I'm currently boycotting Taco Bell. So
Because they took all the
you know-
good stuff off the menu?
no, it's actually, since I gave up red meat and pork, I have to be selective about what I eat. So I customize my tacos and everything. And when I'm at work, we decided, hey, where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? So last time when we decided we're going to Taco Bell, my order was very specific: the chicken chalupa tacos, make it fresca style because I don't want any other stuff on it. I wanted it to be a little bit healthier. And the taco, make sure there's no beef. It's all chicken. And the guy, one of my coworkers goes there, orders my food. He says, guys, make sure you don't screw this up. The guy's very picky about his food, which I am. He said, chicken chalupa tacos, the supreme taco with the fresca, no beef. Bring my food. Everything is beef. They changed the chicken chalupa tacos to beef tacos. I'm like, how do you screw that up?
Not to. That sounds like
Weed.
Man.
That's weed.
The sad part is that wasn't the only time. The previous time we went, they screwed up my order. So I'm like, I'm boycotting them. Forget it. I don't need to, you end up spending like $30, $40 every time we go there. I'm like, that's not worth it.
And the thing about it is people look at me and my diet like I'm, I eat like I'm in college. And that's partially because when I was in college, I ate like I was a homeless person. So it's still an upgrade. But so much of what I do is dictated on what's within a mile of here or what can be delivered to me in under 25 minutes. And so I wind up eating a lot of really terrible fast food. And I don't often feel good about it. So when I don't have to eat fast food, I usually go a little berserk at the nice restaurants. Like we're at St. Elmo's in Indianapolis, and my bill was $200 on my own because it's like, hey, this is real food. I'm gonna have 2 baked potatoes. Like, I don't need 2 baked potatoes, but it's good, so I'm gonna eat another one.
Mm.
And it's just funny when when people see what I eat during the day and see what I eat most of the time, and then we go to a restaurant and I'm ordering, escargot and fancy, and they're like, we thought you had this terrible palate. I'm like, nah, I'm just cheap and lazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times, just with the schedules everyone keeps, you're just at the mercy of what's around you and what's easy. Not even necessarily for me, it's not even like cheaper. It's just, oh, it's there. Okay, that's fine. And nothing against Taco Bell whatsoever, but it really weirded me out last year when there was that national poll of the United States, and they showed a map of like favorite Mexican food restaurants, and like 70% of the country regions were like Taco Bell.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. That would not fly in Texas. No.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you get down there into the Southwest, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. You guys have real Mexican food. Up here, we have Mexican food, but it's not made by Mexican people. We get Mexican food that are made by Koreans and other things. Like, we don't get real Mexican food here until you go to a Mexican restaurant, and sure, the waiters are, authentic, and it's an authentic experience, but the food is certainly not. And so Taco Bell and Chipotle are like the best options we have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real bummer. I would love to get a guac that didn't have mayonnaise in it. That's all I'm saying.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Yeah, and even in the regions where they know how to do it, they still do it differently. I mean, in Texas, I'm sure everyone's aware, there's Tex-Mex, right? So I can't really go anywhere else and go, oh, this is Mexican food, because I lived out in California for about 3 years, completely different. They
Mhm.
had no idea that you could even fry an avocado, first of all. They were like, whoa, why would you do that to an avocado? And I'm like, why
would
wouldn't
you do that?
Why wouldn't you? And their idea of queso was just a melted Velveeta with maybe a couple of jalapenos in it.
Wow.
So,
Although there is good news.
food, but it is different.
There is good news on my horizon. We're getting a Torchy's.
Oh, thank goodness! I'm so happy for you. I am. I'm thrilled. Torchy's has been a lifesaver for me in the last 3 years, because I have one right by my job.
Mhm.
And March is the best month of the year, not just because it holds my birthday or March Madness or any kind of wonderful pop culture stuff, but because Torchy's has the Roscoe every March. Oh, you're in for a treat. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, no, my birthday's in March, and every year around here, the week of my birthday is restaurant week. It's become a thing everywhere. It's local restaurants partner up with charity, and part of your meal goes there. So we always try new things. Last year, I tried Korean barbecue for the first time during restaurant week, and
Yeah.
almost died.
Yeah.
I think they messed up my order. I ordered the not spicy bulgogi, and I think they brought me the spicy bulgogi, and my face just proceeded to do that thing from the end of Raiders, just
Yeah.
I had about 3 bites, was like, I'm done. I won't be able to taste anything for a week. But I really enjoyed, everything else we had. So I'm excited to go back there. And I just haven't had a chance because, again, COVID shut everything down. But what do you guys do when you go to try a new place? What's your tactic when you go to try a new restaurant?
Miss Jen, you want to start?
Probably when I go to a new restaurant, I'll pick something that's the closest to something I've eaten somewhere else that I enjoyed. But it kind of depends on how adventurous I feel. I sometimes will ask the waiter what they like, but like tell them, no, wait, before you answer me, really, when you go on your break today, what are you ordering off the menu? Not what's the this is the thing I've been told to sell because the fish is about to go bad tomorrow and I got to get it out of the refrigerator. What are you ordering today? That works out pretty good.
Brainy, what about you?
I'm getting to become a creature of habit. I try. I'm very selective with my food, like I said earlier. It's getting to the point where I'm not taking risks anymore. 10 years ago, I'd try anything that's not any shellfish, which is bad for my kidneys. I would have tried anything, but now I'm becoming very selective. I've got to be able to recognize a food before I order it, unfortunately.
And I think mine is first and foremost, I check Instagram for pictures. Because I mean that's a lot of the century, right? Is like how it looks, how it's presented, and like following foodies on Instagram and just reading blog posts, watching videos. If I see a show like Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, and I know Guy Fieri liked it, I'm gonna try it. I want to try it. I like to try the signature item. So I'm not gonna go to a place where it's like, this is the best chicken fried steak in Texas, and then order like a salad. I'm just not, like I want to get like their signature item. Now, if it's something I know I'm not gonna like if a sushi place swore to me that the best thing on their menu is the sea urchin, I know
Mhm.
that's not for me. I'm not gonna eat it. But then I would go to like, okay, well, what's your second most popular thing? So word of mouth first and foremost, whether that's from someone I know suggesting it, which that takes the highest priority, and then just a little bit of Instagram, internet research. And then third would just be, if I go to a fried chicken or a place known for their fried chicken, get their fried chicken. Yeah, don't get a steak from a fried chicken place or whatever. And something you learn as you get older is, and I think this can best be highlighted by taking a 5 second glance at the Cheesecake Factory menu. If they have too many items, it's no good. It's not going to work. Like I would rather go into a place and all they serve is fried chicken, or all they serve is baked potatoes, or all they serve is mac and cheese. And I know some people don't like those places because it gets too hipstery, or too, like, they just feel like the pressure of like, well, I don't like mac and cheese. Well, if they specialize in something, that's a place for me. Because otherwise you're just gonna get too many basic generic menu items, and then you have a Cheesecake Factory situation where you got like 40 different items and maybe one is good, and that's the cheesecake, which is in their name. So
So ironically, my pizza spot in Chicago, when you sit down, they ask you, they don't hand you a menu. They don't have one. It's small or large, meat or no meat. Them's your options. And they'll tell you that a small will technically feed 2 normal sized humans. A large will technically feed 3 normal sized humans. I get a large by myself, so don't trust them when they tell you that. And then, do you want the bread? And the answer is always, unless you're brainy, and I totally can respect not eating pork or red meat. I can totally respect that. So brainy would say no meat, but the correct answer is large meat, yes. And then they walk away. And then your
See,
pizza comes back, huh?
If the meat includes chicken, do it.
The meat is totally essential. It's a blend of both Italian beef and Italian sausage,
Yeah, gotta.
ground up and cooked into the sauce. And then the other option you have, but you got to know to ask for it, is mushrooms. They will put mushrooms in, but you got to know that they'll do it if you ask. But they don't offer it to you. But then they go away and they come back, and here comes your pizza, and here comes this thing that looks like an elephant ear, except like an actual elephant's ear. It's huge. And that's the bread. And they bring out a shaker of stuff with no labels on it. You're not allowed to know what's in it. And they shake that stuff and they say, tell you when. And if that bread doesn't change color, it's not enough. But you put it on there and you eat it, and it's like, like you just fall over. And then what's wild way is that they don't bring you a check. They go $12.95, $12.95, $12.95, $12.95, cash only.
Mhm.
Not kidding. They don't take credit card.
Where is this place?
Chicago. They got an ATM at the front of the building. You can go get cash. But the whole idea is it's supposed to feel mobbed up. Like it's supposed to feel the way it felt, in the day when the back corner was with the gumas and stuff. And and it really does. And it's a really good time. They have the guy who seats you comes out and will go, how many? And you tell them 4, and they'll look at Mark and go, 4, blue shirt, got it. And they don't write anything down. And he'll go, it'd be about an hour. And then 59 minutes later, he goes, Mark, blue shirt, let's go. And you go. It's the wildest thing. It's across the street from where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorite places in the world.
Yeah, well, when I start reading Red Meat again, we're going there.
Oh, for sure. I'll drive the 5 hours to Chicago just to meet you.
All right, sounds good.
Meat, MEAT, right?
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming.
Order the bread. Yes on the meat.
Mhm.
What was the third
Yes.
thing? What was the third thing?
Large. So you have leftovers.
Oh, so they do give you to go. They give you a to-go box. They just don't take to-go orders.
Yeah, you can't carry out. You can, while you're sitting there, order them frozen.
Oh, okay.
And they totally hold up if you bake them in your own oven. But it's real good. And I'll tell you guys once we stop recording the name of the place. But it's it's really good. And I could talk about it for hours. I'll be real honest.
And just one more thing: is mushrooms like the only thing you can modify? You just go, hey,
Yep.
mushrooms. Just like mushrooms. You just say that, and they go, okay.
I want the
Well,
mushrooms, and they go okay. And by the way, they're whole mushrooms. They're
Ooh.
small, but they're whole. They're not sliced. They're not diced. They're whole. One of my favorite stories is at C2E2. We went there and we took Sam De La Rosa, the Venom artist, who I know Jen knows.
Mhm.
I don't know. Brainy, do you know Sam?
No, not personally.
He did Venom Lethal Protector covers.
Okay.
But he's a Texas, New Mexico, Arizona guy. He normally never leaves the Southwest. And he comes to Chicago, and he was friends with one of the excuse me. He was friends with one of the people we were with. And so we invited him to dinner, and he said, sure. And what I don't think he realized is that we were gonna have to sit on a stoop of a brownstone for about an hour and a half to wait to get into this place. And you could see Sam just turning blue because he's so cold. And the rest of us are there in like shorts and t-shirts because it's like 50 degrees. And we get into this place, and he goes, I thought you guys were crazy for sitting on that stoop for an hour and a half waiting to get to this place. He goes, but this is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Nice.
And Sam De La Rosa is such a great, warm individual. I interviewed him for Nerd News Now for back when we were allowed to go to conventions pre-COVID. But anyway, great guy if you ever see his booth. And he's at like all, I'm sure this will be a thing when they're back, but he's like almost every Texas convention. So yeah, he must stay close to the area.
Lives in Texas.
Yeah. So
He's a San Antonio boy.
Yeah.
so
So-
now I just want pizza, dude.
I know. I'm like, dang it! I just had Domino's 2 days ago. I just don't-
My last
I just
meeting-
had 4 chalupas.
were they chicken chalupas?
Mhm.
Yeah, bastard.
Chicken
But
bacon.
But they also had bacon on them, though. The new
The
bacon.
CBR
ranch.
chalupa, man.
You know, you would not believe how restrictive a diet gets once you eliminate pork and red meat. I mean, you don't realize how much food out there has red meat in it. It's just might as well just
But-
become vegetarian.
I will say this back to Tex-Mex for a second and the restrictive diet. If you are ever in a place that does it, get the Portobello fajitas. Oh my goodness. Portobello fajitas are awesome.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah.
That sounds real good.
I mean, well, portobello is like the meat of vegetables, right? I mean, some people substitute that with steak. If you do it right, it's phenomenal. But so we've almost talked about food the whole hour. Do we need to talk about
Yeah.
food? I mean,
Did Nerd News happen that didn't involve Jen and I this weekend?
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but it's kind of like same old, and people just get upset all the time. But I guess that's like fandom, right? I mean,
We
people
could
are always getting upset all the time.
we could talk about WandaVision. That's new.
Oh,
I haven't
Has
seen
anybody
it,
watched
but
it?
yes. When I was about to watch it, like about 3 weeks ago, I had this thought like I think this might be the best thing MCU ever creates. And then I watched the first two episodes and I'm like, I can't believe I was right about something finally. I mean it is phenomenal. It is amazing. And I know a lot of it is based on the the Tom King Maxi series. Um Vision, having a family in the suburbs, but it this show is incredible. And they went to such great lengths that they used the opinion of National Treasure Dick Van Dyke as a consultant. And the funniest thing I heard, at the end of this weekend, people talking about that is that, you know, and you should have figured, but he didn't even know what the MCU was or how popular, it is. He was just there to consult on, the
he was
furniture.
Bert and Mary Poppins. Why does he need to? Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's already in that Disney family, right? So it doesn't. Yeah, but no, the painstaking set design, the casting, everything about it is just wonderful. And then on top of that, it's giving us a chance to like actually see Scarlet Witch and Vision with screen time. Because like in the 19 movies, they probably didn't have as much screen time as they did in the first two episodes of this. Vision for sure did not, but I don't know. Like, so Miss Jen, you said you saw it,
Yes, yes.
and what did you think?
I'm gonna watch it tomorrow and record a reaction video.
Okay,
So somebody wave when I put my headphone back in.
okay,
I'm not gonna spoil anything, so you're okay. Okay. So my husband's reaction to it was that he didn't get it as much as I did. But then I found out from talking to him that he did not grow up watching, Leave It to Beaver and um oh
Brady Bunch.
I Dream of Jeannie, and I know that those weren't like made to be initial broadcasts back when I was, a kiddo, but they came on TV, and that's what I loved watching them. So I think that it's different if you watched and appreciated those shows. If you never saw a single episode of Lucy, then I could see that these would be confusing to you. That's what he said. I'm confused. So maybe that's what's going on.
Well, I mean, I don't think this is spoilery per se, but I mean, anyone can earmuff that hasn't seen it. But one thing about that is they don't really establish what's going on. So like you just see them in black and white. You can probably figure that there's an homage to something,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't really even tell you that like, hey, we don't know what's going on yet, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but the last time we saw Vision at least was I mean, was it Endgame or was it the one before?
It
But
was in game.
okay, so but then they just bounce directly to this, and I love the slow reveal and build up. I think the pacing is fantastic. But I can also see someone going, "What is this? Is not what I signed up for. This is not superhero MCU stuff."
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be a slow burn, but I think it's going to have a tremendous payoff. And they do homages to old, sponsored commercials
Yeah.
uh, and obviously like from the trailer, I think I think most people from the trailer can point out like, oh, Brady Bunch. Now
Mhm.
some of the other sitcoms they're going to be playing off of that I definitely understand. But I grew up with all that stuff, and I'm trying to like, okay, I know they have 20 something minute episodes, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what other sitcoms are they going to pull from? Because I love it. And I saw someone's kind of comment not liking the show that was like, this has all been done before. And it's like,
I think
well,
that's the point.
okay. I mean, yes, I Love Lucy was a thing. I get that, but like, this has not been done before. What they're doing right now, this has never been done before.
Right? Is that person saying that Paul Bettany and Desi Arnaz are the same person? I don't understand.
Well, no, I don't know what they were. I just you're gonna have it. You're always gonna have a contingent of people that are like, "There's not enough action." Like I mean, that's just what's gonna happen, and it's this story is gonna end up being awesome, and I'm just super excited to see how this plays out. To see Loki because that's gonna be a mind trip as well. I think I'm predicting that the first like real action, the from a widescreen perspective of like, oh yeah, superhero Avenger action, it's probably going to be Hawkeye. Because you're not going to be like Loki, you're dealing with all these weird realities. Like, how did he get there? Oh, this is weird. WandaVision, oh, this is weird. Hawkeye is going to be a straight up like, master and apprentice type thing. I'm going to pass this moniker down to you. And also, by the way, there's going to be a pizza dog. So I mean, lucky the pizza dog is about to be freaking Baby Yoda for Marvel Universe. That's what's going to happen.
So
So
that
I
for Sam and Becky.
what
Lucky.
okay, you're dropping out again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what you said something about Sam Wilson and Bucky?
Yeah.
I am excited. Well, yeah, I'm excited for that, but it's at the point of like, is that actually coming out this year? Because I don't even know if that's like if Loki's next or not. I think I think I'm having the same problem you had with Wonder Woman, where you saw the trailer 19 times and then you're like, oh, did that already happen yet? That's but of course I will love it when that comes out. But I do know that they're still doing of some sort. So I don't know. I don't know the ordering. WandaVision came out way later because it was supposed to be second. So Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to come out, I think October originally. So now my mindset is like, okay, we're when is this gonna come out? And Brady, you gotta take off. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. We'll chat again later.
Yeah, have a good week. And so yeah, I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier, but like I need it to happen before I need to see a date set to it, I think. But yeah, you're right. That will be the first. Like, oh, there's action again. But I'm cool with this WandaVision break because this is awesome.
So I took the time when I wasn't listening to you guys talk about WandaVision to look up some news, and there's one piece of news that dropped while we've been recording, according to at least the website I went to, that's got me very excited.
Does it have anything to do? Does it have anything to do with Nick Cage, LeBron James, or Matt Damon?
No, it has something to do with Lloyd Kaufman.
Okay, please tell me what is going to happen with that.
Lloyd Kaufman has officially endorsed the reboot of the Toxic Avenger from Legendary. He has read the script and says it's so much better than the original. And so that's got me excited. I love Toxie. I love the Toxic Avenger. I got to meet Lloyd Kaufman at Astronomicon last year. And, it's the fact that there's a new movie coming out makes me happy. And the fact that he says it's good makes me happy. So I think that's all there is to that story, really. I mean, Toxic Avenger doesn't have a massive following. It's pretty cult, but you got to love it.
Well, I was actually going to bring that up. I remember I did not know what Troma was till I was probably 30. Okay, but yet I remember sifting through old toys that were in my parents' attic not too long ago, and there's all kinds of Toxic Avengers toys. So I remember watching the cartoon. I believe they had a comic adaptation, and I had several of the figures. There was also Nintendo games and Game Boy games for it. And speaking of Lloyd Kaufman, I don't know if you're familiar with the YouTube series Angry Video Game Nerd, but he's gotten big enough now where he's had like Macaulay Culkin come on and play all the Home Alone games that are terrible, and then he had an episode of Lloyd Kaufman coming on to play the Toxic Avenger with Nintendo game. Oh, so I'm very much familiar with that. I still to this day think it is weird that that was ever a kids cartoon.
Right? That it was designed. It was designed. It was yeah. It was that it was targeted at children. Was very strange.
Well, because I wouldn't have picked up on that back then. Like I wouldn't have watched through the credits and seen. I'm sure on there somewhere it said, copyright Trauma Films or whatever. But I wouldn't have known what that was, and it's not like you could Google it on your phone back then. So I guess what I'm saying is I think they pulled one over on Society by marking that towards kids a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of other TV and movie news that I'm seeing, but I mean, it's all stuff you'd expect. Like the Cobra Kai guy is saying that Jaden Smith's Karate Kid isn't part of the universe,
Yeah.
which, okay, I'd like it to not be part of this universe. So, I mean, we can all get there. And that Ivan Reitman watched Ghostbusters Afterlife and loved it. That gives me faith in that film.
Yeah.
So.
The stuff I had was, and this might be in the who cares category, but now they are saying, they being the director, that Justice League is a one-shot 4-hour movie. But to me, the one thing that I pulled out of the story, math does not add up. So it's going to be 4 hours, right? 2.5 hours of brand new footage, but only 5.5 new minutes of principal photography. So anyway, I have Justice League fatigue. Miss Jen knows this. We've been talking about this for like what, a year or 2 or 3 or since the show started. What he probably meant was there's going to be 4 episodes, but it's going to drop all in one day. You can just watch them back to back. That's fine. I'm going to check it out just to do my nerdly duty or whatever. But until then, that's in March, so we'll worry about that then.
We're talking
Matt
about the
Damon,
Snyder cut, right? Right?
yes.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do my nerdly duty and tell Zack Snyder to go jump off a bridge. I ain't doing it. I won't watch a second. I walked out of that movie.
And also Matt Damon joining the cast of Thor: Love and Thunder. Not sure if he's going to be reprising his role as the Asgardian actor portraying Thor or not. And just and Space Jam released 1 second of footage, and everyone's mind was blown, and it's all bonkers. I just feel that with Space Jam, it's going to be people complaining about getting a free movie again, just like it was with Wonder Woman. I'm not saying people should have said, I love Wonder Woman if they didn't love it. I just felt that movie was like attacked. I'm also doing the theme in my head as you do that.
Yeah.
I will say on Space Jam, the cast they got, to me, the Rockets won in 93, 94, 94, 95. I think that Michael Jordan's supporting cast in Space Jam, as in the NBA players, much vast bigger scale than what LeBron has to work with in this one.
Who's he got?
But that's more of a basketball conversation. Oh, it's like Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, the Brow, Anthony Davis. You have Barkley, Ewing, Robinson, like just no contest for me. But
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues, yeah, Larry Johnson, Grandmama, So, and then now I do want to spend just a couple of seconds on this. So, a trailer for a Nick Cage movie came out, Willy's Wonderland. I was very, very confused because we've been waiting on this Five Nights at Freddy's movies for years now. Not waiting on it, but knowing, okay, they merchandise the heck out of this thing. It's going to be a movie. I thought it was passed around to a couple of production companies. This movie is Five Nights at Freddy's. Like they even have like orange animatronic things. It's not probably the exact bear, but I'm not understanding how they got away with this. But there's a movie called Willy's Wonderland where some guy pays Nick Cage, hey, I need you to stay in there for 24 hours and clean my pizza place. Okay. And I'll pay for your truck. Okay. And then all of a sudden you just see him go into that like Mandy manic rage and just chopping up animatronics for the next hour and a half. I'm fine with that, but I don't understand how that happened. And that's from and obviously I know that you have a whole system in Hollywood where, oh, Studio A is doing this, so as Studio B, we need to do this and try to take part of that market. Because apparently in the 90s, asteroids were huge to the point where it's like, we got Armageddon with Aerosmith. Oh yeah, well we have Deep Impact. Okay. But like, so I know that can happen, but it's just wild to me that something so specific like Freddy's is going to be completely usurped by a movie that looks like it maybe shot 3 days to shoot with Nick Cage. So anyway, check that trailer out.
Armageddon, Aerosmith was almost Armageddon with Blessed Union of Souls.
Were they? Wow.
Blessed Union of Souls wrote the song "Light in Your Eyes" for the movie Armageddon because the studio had approached them to write it. Then Aerosmith at the time, had cut their version of "Don't Want to Miss a Thing," and the record company sent it to the studio going, "Hey, we would love to get this into a movie to promote this record," because Aerosmith had kind of a weird turn in their career, and they wanted to be more mainstream. And the studio was like, "Oh my God, we can have Steven Tyler singing a song while his daughter dies in space? We're gonna put that in." And they just gave "Light in Your Eyes" back to Blessed Union of Souls, and with permission to use it in the credits.
Huh.
So it was almost, Armageddon with Blessed Union of Souls.
Wow. But I don't think Aerosmith's doing music for this Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage.
No, but Nick Cage could probably get him if he wanted to.
He probably could.
No, I will say this
ahead.
just about it. That movie terrifies me. The concept terrifies me. The game terrifies me. Nick Cage terrifies me just as a person.
Yeah.
I'm so in.
I mean, I just didn't. I was expecting to see the name Five Nights at Freddy's pop up, and it didn't. So, if you're Five Nights at Freddy's now, are you like, well, should we even make this movie? Because they got Nick Cage. I mean, what? I don't know what you could do to one up that at this
Get
point.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, I don't see that happening, but maybe. So you're saying like the Revenant, but with an animatronic bear, huh?
Yeah,
So anyway,
much.
just comics. What's going on?
There's some really cool number ones that are coming out. A lot of them are like small, like might be missed by people. There's one called Rain Like Hammers, which is about a big walking city called Elephant.
Oh, okay.
One character that lives there, that's the main character. And then I Breathed a Body sounds really cool. This one's like they described it as social network mixed with Hellraiser. Which the name doesn't tell you that, right? And then Crimson Flower has got a number one. It's a Matt Kent product. This person's trying to deal with their trauma from a home invasion through Russian folktales.
Always down for anything with Matt Kent. So that one, that'll go on the list for sure. Anything else like stuff that flew off the shelves and surprise last week, or anything you're looking forward to the next couple months?
Not really. I mean, there's like every week there's something super special that comes out that I'm excited about. Like, there's also King in Black this week, which I'm always got to figure out what the end game is. How is that going to end? Who's going to survive out of that thing?
Yeah.
And then, of course, what's interesting is that all the Future State has really flown off the shelves. There wasn't a lot of initial like people adding it to their pull boxes in mass. I think everyone waited for number one to come out and see if they liked it or not. And then now they're trying to add it to their pull boxes when there's nothing we can do about it. And so, like, I'll speak personally, we have almost nothing for the rack this week for Future State. That all got pulled into boxes. That's just the way it goes during COVID.
Yeah. Any final thoughts from either of you as we wrap
Well,
it?
Scott Hanna told us this weekend, it was kind of an announcement from him, that he's taking he's doing a variant for Amazing Spider-Man, what is it, 66?
Hmm.
It's coming out. The one that everybody's so hyped for, but he's doing a variant for that. So be on the lookout for that, which is cool. That was a piece of news that was new to me, but made me very happy. No, other than that, there was no new news. I think some of the biggest news we were involved in, so I don't know if that's even fair, if that's playing with house money or not, but
It's fine. Whatever you want. Well, thank you, Kyle and Miss Jen, and thanks to Brainy. He had to check out early, but we appreciate his time as always. And thank you for watching and/or listening to Nerd News Now, part of the Kingdom of Geekdom on Woodlands Online, sponsored by Space Cadets Collection, and Adventure Begins. Check out their other shows on Woodlands Online, like Taste Buzz, Music Cafe, Adventure Begins Show, Woodlands House and Home, The Best You, Weekly Fallout Sports Talk, and Between the Trees Business Talk. You can watch all these on Woodlands Online and on our partner station, KBQT HD21 over the air. All these shows and more are also available on Roku. Just add Woodlands Online Television to your streaming lineup. And you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcast from. We'll see you next time on Nerd News Now.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.